I'm taking a gap year since your parents can support you. And it's just like, oh.
Or you can support yourself. Who knows?
Yeah, your parents can support you, or you could support yourself. And it's just like, okay, that's
you.
That's that. But it's kind of like this sense of urgency when you don't have money or you're working class. And it's just like, okay, like, time's fucking passing, so you need to hurry up. And it's just like, okay, well, I mean, it's gonna pass whether I go to school or not.
I remember this one thing that my dad said to me one time. I forget, when I was trying to get a job earlier last year, and he said something like, changed now, but he said something like, don't rush into getting a job because, like, you're young right now, and, like, once you get this job and you have this source of income, you're not going to want to stop having that source of income, and you're going to be working for the rest of your life. So, I mean, if
I
you
say
can,
that to people.
Yeah, so if you can, like, deter that in any way, go for it, because you're going to be working until you retire. So, I mean, why start now? And, like, he told me that a year and a half ago. I think about that constantly. That's one of the main reasons that when me and Ashley wanted to get this, like, whole, like, Depop and a YouTube and all these, like, podcast things going. First, I wanted to have a job first and then start these things. But now I feel like I should be way more choosy with what I decide to spend my time on and get money from. Because it's like, start that and, like, who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what you're going to get accustomed to?
The thing is, I tell people, okay, another thing people do, maybe, I don't know, deliberately, undeliberately, I don't know, but people do it is shame you or shame me for not having a job or not ever working before. Like, I'm 18. Chill the fuck out. I in California, I swear it really
didn't matter.
It was like, okay, at job interviews, at, like, places with my peers, I say, you know what I worked for? No, people will be like, what the fuck? Like, that kind of, like, what look? And it's like, if I'm at a job interview and you ask me, have I ever had a job before? And I say no, why is that so shocking? Is it because I seem like such a good work? Like, what? You have my application, you can look at it. The history is blank. Like, what are you doing? It's just so dumb. I hate that. It could be just a little thing, but it'll just annoy me, like, no, I'm not. I'm 18. Like, I'm not, like, people act like I'm really out here. Like, I'm 25, 26. I've never had a job before. And it's just like, even then, don't shame somebody for not having a job. You don't know their circumstances. It's just, like,
especially if you're at a job. Like, I'm trying to get a job right now.
It's like I'm at a
Help
job
me with that.
And every single person wants to sit around and be like, you never had a job, not going to hire you. Like, then how am I going to get the job? And I'm dead ass close to lying. And just being like, I worked at McDonald's for 20 years. Like, stop. Like, what the fuck? It's just, I'm really fun to watch, like, videos on how you use, like, a cash register and all this shit, so I can be like, I have the experience to get on and just lie on
and then put the link of the video.
Like, I'm really gonna do that. 'Cause it's just ridiculous the way, like, people and my friends too. And I remember somebody, like, oh my gosh, my friend, I'm not gonna name any names. This person likes to guilt people. You'll probably guess. Yeah, likes to guilt people, like, subtly in a weird way where it's like, are we cool? What are you doing? Like to guilt people as if they're the only person who's gone through something. So they'll be like, oh, yeah, I had to work. Yeah, like, must be nice type shit. I hate when people do that to me. Don't must be nice. My life has not been easy. So it's just like, people will be like, oh, like, she'll be like, oh, must be nice. Like, I had to work. I didn't really have a choice. And it's like, then I have to explain and be like, oh, well, I'm not allowed to have a job. I'm not allowed to work when I'm in high school. It's like, oh, why? And it's like, oh, well, because I remember I said that too. And then she was like, oh my gosh. It's like, no, it's not morbid. It's true. I was like, oh, because the way it works in my family is you basically, once you get a job, you're going to be working for the rest of your life until you die. So, like, you might as well hold out for as long as you can. And she was like, whoa. And I was like, that's fucking true. So I don't know. Why are you shocked for it? And I was like, especially in my family, like, literally, my great-grandma died getting ready for work. She was getting up and getting ready for work. And she died. So that's just how...
That is the life I am not trying to live.
Literally.
That sticks on our brains constantly.
It's just like, you don't know what's happened in my family. So, like, that, for that reason, I'm not going to work until I graduate. So don't fucking shame me or try to compare your hardships to mine. I don't do that. That's so fucking dumb.
I've never wanted to do that.
I don't ever, like, I've been through this. You
That is
haven't been.
so wild.
Like,
Like, ooh, like where do you get off?
and then I
Literally
hate
at
when
me,
I
like
literally I hate when I like actually like entertain it, or not entertain it, just feel the need to like, you just like don't want to let somebody like, oh, you just try to do me dirty, like
you
you
don't
like,
want to
it's
let
hard
up.
to just be like, oh wow, I'm gonna ignore that, and then when I don't ignore it, I just like get more annoyed at myself because I'm like, I should have just left it. Like, why did I even like basically stoop to the level? But like that kind of shit annoys me. Like, it's not even the one time this person did it. Kept doing that shit. I get it. You have had it hard, and it's just like, it's dumb because even the shit this person has been saying, it's like, you've had it normal hard. You have not had it exceptionally hard for you to be throwing this shit around in people's faces the way you do. Like, I personally feel like I've had it hard. We've had it hard. Like, it's been fucking hard our life so far. Like, we
And do
literally.
I have the urge to throw it in people's faces when they
No!
talk to me about some
Like,
shit? Like, it
hard.
must be nice. Like, is there the floor is yours? Is there something you'd like
No!
to talk about?
Literally, I
Like,
would
what
literally be
kind of
like, what
passive
is that?
aggressive weird ass shit is
It's
that?
dumb. People, okay, also, I hate people assume I'm rich. We've been poor based our entire lives.
Up until a year.
No, even now we're still struggling. But
Yeah.
we're on the up and up. We're trying to
We're struggling
we're
for a reason.
trying,
We're struggling for a
yeah,
cause.
we're trying to get out of the situation that we're in, because you can't just accept something like that. We're trying to get out of the situation and become more financially stable and blah blah blah. But we have always been struggling. Like, we have never really not struggled,
Never.
and it's just like, I don't know. It's annoying when you just already have, like, you just know how hard you've had it, and to have someone sit there and be like, you haven't had it hard. Just like, who the fuck are you talking to?
Oh shit, you know the book of me? Like, tell me where.
No, literally, and then you feel like you need to go and like give your whole book of hard like
But then
struggles,
even you
and
don't
it's
want
like,
to do
no, yeah,
that.
you're like, you can't just, I don't, like, it's not, you can't just insult me and
Like,
then
I'm not trying
like
to have
get
a
a
pour
key
off with
into my
you.
life. Yeah, I'm not gonna share the shit with you in my life just because you aggravated me. But it's annoying when that happens, and I feel like I like have to, and I'm like, oh god.
Then you're
And
stuck
then,
between a poor and a hard place.
yeah, and that was basically the definition of all last year. Me just being caught in between. Oh wow, people are treating me like shit. If I do this one thing, people won't treat me like shit. But then, like, they're still shit people if they don't treat me like shit because of this one thing. That was literally like the definition of last year, which is gonna be another podcast. But
High school experiences, y'all.
no, yeah, people just try you, and you're just like, wow, I can't wait till not have to be around these people. Like, to only see people when I want to see them. But even then, it's hard to just like be like, I don't want to hang out with you, because that's happening to me right now. Somebody's asking me to hang out where I don't feel like this is a cool person, my friend. I don't want to hang out with you. I just don't.
But thinking more back onto that job thing, ever since my mom was talking about our grandmother Mima, and she was talking about how she's like, she probably, even if she had the funds to retire, she never would, because like older people in her family just like to be preoccupied and shit like that. And I was like, kind of me. Like, I'd be one of those like people who like quit their job and then just volunteer at this place all the time. I don't know, I'd do something like that. So I'm like trying to like practice what you preach when you're like, oh, I want this job and I want this. And that's why I like really wanted, I take this so seriously, because it's like, why, if I'm saying I want this and I want my job to be this way, why would I go out and get a job that I hate right now? Why wouldn't I create a job for myself
And that's like,
right
okay,
now?
that's another reason, thinking back on the whole like our people in our family don't retire thing. People look at me crazy when I'm like, oh, I want to retire by 50, or I say something crazy out to them, crazy outlandish like that. And they'll be like, what the fuck? Like, for somebody our age, people our age, we think about retirement and just working and finances so much. Like,
We really do. We're
it's all
into
I
it.
think about. Like,
All we think
just
about
the,
is money and saving
no, which is
and
literally,
stable living.
it's like, I can see how somebody would look at that and be like, that's bad, but it's just like, no, you
Being
can't.
realistic.
No, yeah, it's realistic. You can't just blame somebody for wanting stability and wanting, like,
a better life.
yeah. It's just like, no, it's not. There's not any like twist or like greed twist on it. It's literally, we just want good lives for ourselves, and just being complacent and sitting back and just letting life happen and not thinking about money and finances is how you end
It's
up
ridiculous.
in our situation later. in life.
Like,
Still in the
I'm
same
not trying to live
situation
with
of being broke.
I'm not trying to live like my dad when I'm older. My goodness.
My dad.
You know, when you just see an older person doing something, and I don't know if anybody else does this. Like me and my sister talk about it, but you're just looking at them and you're like, never. If that's me at whatever age they're at, like, I'm gonna pay someone to sniper me down. My goodness, like heck no, I'm not gonna be living that way,
Dick
and
me
not
down,
like
daddy.
yeah, dick me down, daddy. It's not gonna. It's not like oh, I'm gonna be living on the Ritz 1 2 3. It's just like
he's living well. He's well off.
yeah.
He is
But
completely
I do not
financially
want to be having
irresponsible.
the
He is
struggles that you're having at my
financially
age. My
irresponsible.
goodness,
It's just like you could.
someone
If
come
I was in
intervention
your
me
situation
quick.
right now, I would have built my wealth up so much. Like
It would be ridiculous.
I would be. It would be popping. I would have. I would own the house. Or actually, would I would move my ass out of that house because
Yes,
it's
immediately.
unnecessary.
All it is suck out money.
I just can't.
Our
I'm
father's
just
house
kind
has
of.
5 bathrooms.
I'm happy we kind of have had the life we've had because it's just like it's just into my brain like I just cannot live basically like wastefully. Like I could not live. I could not have 3 people living in a house with like bedrooms that are multiples of 3s. Probably I've never counted the actual. I've only counted the bathrooms. I've never counted the actual rooms in that house.
Neither have I.
Like it's probably an actual multiple of 3.
It's too big for you.
It's just like blatantly too big. I just could not live like wasteful like that. If it was just me, apartment. If it was me and 2 other people, apartment. Like what are you doing? Fucking, it's ridiculous. Like
it's literally way more about
I
location than
could
the actual place that you're
No,
living in. When I think about where I want to live,
Yes.
it's like actual location. Like
No,
okay,
literally.
this
It's
and
like,
then the where you're
definitely.
actually
It's
living.
like I would live, want
the
to live
apartment.
close to the city, or if not in the city, I would want to live in like a legit like lit place like not like California because I don't want
But
to sound like a dummy.
yeah, but like
like
Long Beach.
No, yeah, like a good
LA,
place in California,
Huntington Beach.
LA or somewhere. If it wasn't LA,
Probably
then it
Long
would need to be somewhere by the beach. And then like and these places aren't like the apartments by the beach, like Huntington Beach, are expensive.
Like get that out of your mind now. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, see, like it's just like if I had money like that, I would live in. It's about location. I would live somewhere near the beach in LA, in a city, or like Hawaii or some nice place. I would not be in a fucking huge house
in the middle of Georgia.
In the middle of the suburbs of Georgia. I just
would
not
worth
do it. It's just I don't know, but that's what he's just used to. But like, it's just wild because he grew up having hard times too, and he is one of the people. He's the type of person to be like, I went through hard times. Your hard times weren't as hard as my hard times.
He did that to me.
He does that.
He said this to me once when I was opening up about how my friend died when I was a junior or senior in high school. And I was talking about how bad the place we used to live, La Pat, was. And how, like, it was kind of gang controlled. Like, it was kind of not, like, it was prevalent enough to where you're like, gangs. And not 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes, not even 1 minute into that, he like, oh, well, this is my past. Like, I know you're talking about this thing that was extremely hard that shaped you. Like, I can't even talk about it, but immediately brought up like, well, here's my little slice of.
It's like
this
okay,
is why I'm
he
harder than you,
it,
and this is.
Yes, your neighborhood was.
This is why I didn't talk to this about you. Like immediately when he did that, I just felt like, Nadia, you're so dumb. Why are you even? Like, my goodness.
And it's like, yeah, from how you describe it, your neighborhood was definitely worse than ours. But for you to try to invalidate our struggles with your struggles is fucking
invalidated death.
Ridiculous. It's so insensitive for you to sit here and be like, I had it harder from what you know. Like, you don't know how hard, like, you don't know how, like, you're not in our body, and hardness is, like, fucking relative. It sounds dumb.
Yeah.
But you don't know how somebody is taking something. Like, you could have lived there, taking it hard. Somebody could live in a better place, taking it harder. And you don't know. I'm not saying we did that because I have no way of knowing.
Because we can't live in your
body.
body.
It was I would assume it was probably worse to live in your neighborhood, but you can't act like, oh, my neighborhood compared to your neighborhood, oh, your neighborhood is less bad, so you had it good. Like, it was not a good time. Thinking back on it now, I'm fond of it because we have a lot of memories growing up there. It was like, yes, I like that place, but it was not necessarily a safe environment. Like,
it wasn't.
It literally wasn't. I mean, it was safe because, like, I mean, people, I guess, the neighbors around look out for each other. especially if you live there for a long time. You know what I mean? If you live there for years, the people there, you just know, you like know, you can tell when somebody is on the street that doesn't belong on the street. You're like, who is that person?
Yeah,
Like,
everyone's
you just,
watching out.
yeah, you just know, you're aware of like who lives there, I guess, and everybody's kind of just watching out for each other. Like, but I mean, like, it
But
was
when you're
not the best
so
place.
wrapped up in like, oh, this is me and this is where I come from, like, I know the struggle, I know everything, that you can't say, oh, I'm sorry for your loss before you even run in and validate somebody in the face is one of the like, I can't even say pet peeve. It's like something worse than a pet peeve.
Yeah, it's like chill the fuck out.
It really is like chill the fuck out. Like, oh my goodness. Ooh, if I could go back in time.
But it's just, I don't know. It's just really annoying. I don't want to get there as an adult to have to be like, I struggle. I mean, if I really, really struggled and I was having to listen to a kid complain about like breaking their iPhone or some shit like that, I get it. I would go off. But for me to, I mean, it's just like, no, man. It's like, don't sit here and try to do that and you don't know what we've been through. If I was really sitting here and you were complaining about something dumb, but to be like, oh no, there was a drive-by in my neighborhood and my friend died. Like,
and you're going to be like, well, and then to take it even further, just at my dad, you're complaining about a situation before I was born. I'm complaining about a situation you had control and helping me over. But I mean, the tea is hot and
yeah,
but
it's
like
just
wild.
like, you're like, oh, my circumstances, and how are you even gonna try to, it's basically like, if our circumstances are bad, you're kind of guilty of that. Because you could have pulled us out of that situation at any point in time.
You really could have.
Not that we would have gone willingly, but you didn't try.
You really didn't.
You didn't try at all.
wanted to get a game room and a
It's dumb,
bitchin' pool table.
It's just like, it's one of those things you just have to accept it and be like, okay.
And I'm deep down. I'm happy because it's like, this is firsthand, like, I don't want to be this way at all. Like, actual learning experiences.
Yeah, I'm happy that, like, things worked out the way they did, because if he did try and we were living with him, he would be the same person.
Yeah.
And I would not want to live with him. So it's just like, things worked out. Everything happened for a reason, for real though.
Learning experiences.
And it's just like, but the thing, even now, it's like, I would never trade living on the pat in Westminster for anything. Like, I'm really happy, huh? You said you would?
No, I said I feel the same. Okay,
no, yeah, I am really happy that's where we grew up. Like, it's just,
it was amazing.
It was just like a great place
like the
to
best
grow
time.
up. Yeah.
We could do 1,000 story times about it. My goodness.
Yeah, we really could.
And like, we're probably not gonna end up there, like living there, but like,
I'll definitely end up in California.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna. I mean, I'll see it. I know I'm gonna see
like,
it again
I'm
when I go
definitely
to California.
Yeah, that's one of the first places that I want to roll up on. But like, I know I'm gonna live in California, and I'm gonna want to go like visit the street really fast and then get the hell out of there.
I know. I'm not trying to like stay and hang out. Like, for what?
Yeah.
I'll go to Marcella's house. I'll probably visit Marcella's parents. I'm not trying to like be there. I mean, but it's kind of like, we're gonna be in Westminster.
True.
Like, all the time.
So.
Like, the whole time.
Yeah, we really will. Next time around. If you see us in Westminster, hit us up.
Yeah.
Because we will be there.
The 714. No, like.
And then also things about our job. I remember when I would be talking to my friends about how, like, oh, no matter what, next time I'm going to be there, so-and-so. I was still in the mindset of, like, I'm going to find a part-time job. She'd be like, oh, like, what kind of job you going to find that's going to give you a month off? And then, like, looking back, it's like, nigga, just create that job. Like.
Yeah. Like. No, the thing is, I would literally have a job, just quit the job at will. It's like, I don't need this.
That's what I would
the thing.
do.
I don't want to get in a situation. You can't get in a situation where you're like, oh, I need this job. Like, I need this job and I'm working for this. Like, no, you're working, you're getting paid, and like, I just want to be in control of the situation and be like, I can have this job and not have this job at will. I'm not dependent on the job. Like, unless it was something I love doing.
Yeah. Like, career and job, we're talking about part-time
jobs. We're talking about part-time job, working at Wendy's type.
Yeah, we're not talking about, like, going to
school.
I don't want to be in a situation
where I'm dependent and having to work at a job I hate. I mean, if I am in college,
this got real.
Well, this is Bad News signing off. Our mom told us to go to bed.
So, see you later. Take me down, daddy. It's not like, oh, I'm going to be living on the Ritz, 1, 2, 3. It's